In the Stygian depths of the ocean, where sunlight dares not tread, there lies a research facility so advanced it makes the International Space Station look like a child's plaything. This is the domain of our protagonist, Dr. Simon Nemo, a man whose passion for the ocean's toothy denizens knows no bounds. His latest creation, a labor of love and a testament to human ingenuity, is Mega-Sharky, a robotic megalodon that gleams like a submarine forged from the dreams of Jules Verne. The facility, a maze of corridors and labs, hums with the sound of technology at the bleeding edge. Dr. Nemo's lab, cluttered yet organized, is a reflection of his mind, brilliant, eccentric, and always swimming with ideas. Amidst a tangle of cables, screens, and shark posters, Mega-Sharky's blueprints are strewn about, a blueprint not just for a machine, but for a dream. Dr. Nemo, a figure in a lab coat as rumpled as his uncombed hair, stands before a vast tank, his eyes reflecting the gentle glow of the artificial lighting within. "Ah, Mega-Sharky," he muses, "you're not just a pile of nuts and bolts, are you? You're my ticket to understanding these magnificent creatures. Who knows what secrets lie within your steel frame?" His assistant, Ada, a woman whose patience is as vast as the ocean they study, watches on. "It's incredible, Dr. Nemo," she says, her voice a mix of awe and skepticism. "But are you sure it's safe? Replicating a prehistoric apex predator seems ambitious." Dr. Nemo chuckles, a sound that bubbles up like a diver's air escaping to the surface. "Ambitious, Ada. Science is not about playing it safe. It's about reaching into the abyss and pulling out knowledge, however toothy and terrifying it might be." As he speaks, Mega-Sharky stirs to life, its mechanical fins moving with a grace that belies its gargantuan size. Its eyes, glowing with an artificial intelligence, flicker with a semblance of curiosity. "See that, Ada? That's not just programming. That's the spark of curiosity. Mega-Sharky will help us unlock the mysteries of shark evolution and intelligence. Who knows what we'll learn from this magnificent creature?" Ada nods, though her eyes betray a hint of concern. "Just be careful, Doctor. The ocean is full of mysteries, but not all of them are eager to be solved." Dr. Nemo turns back to the tank, his gaze fixed on the robotic Leviathan that glides through the water. "Fear not, Ada. Mega-Sharky and I are going to make history. We're going to show the world that the depths of the ocean are just the beginning." As Mega-Sharky circles the tank, its metallic body reflecting the myriad lights of the lab, Dr. Nemo's eyes sparkle with the same fervor that has driven humankind to explore the unknown since time immemorial. Here, in this underwater sanctum, a new chapter of discovery is about to begin. In the heart of Dr. Nemo's high-tech lab, a symphony of beeps and whirs accompanies the grand unveiling of Mega-Sharky. Dr. Nemo, with the manic energy of a kid in a candy store, hovers over a console that looks like it could control a space shuttle, or at least a very complicated toaster. "All systems are go, Ada," Dr. Nemo announces, his fingers dancing across the keyboard with the finesse of a pianist. "Prepare to witness history." Ada, ever the voice of reason in this underwater madhouse, stands by with a clipboard clutched like a shield. "Just remember, Doctor, history has a tendency to bite back, especially when it has mechanical jaws." With a dramatic flourish, Dr. Nemo hits the final key. The lab shudders as Mega-Sharky springs to life. Its eyes flicker on, glowing with an eerie blue light that casts ghostly shadows on the walls. Its fins begin to oscillate, a ballet of engineering and artificial intelligence. Behold, Ada. Mega-Sharky, the future of marine research. Dr. Nemo exclaims, his face lit up like a Christmas tree, if Christmas trees studied shark evolution. Mega-Sharky moves with an uncanny smoothness, its robotic form cutting through the water in the large tank that dominates the lab. It's like watching a silent movie where the star is a 30-foot-long steel shark with more computing power than a small country. Remarkable, Ada admits, her skepticism giving way to a grudging admiration. It's almost like watching a real shark. Dr. Nemo beams with pride. Almost? My dear Ada, Mega-Sharky is more than real. It's the culmination of my life's work. A perfect blend of nature and technology. As days pass, Dr. Nemo spends hours observing and interacting with Mega-Sharky. He begins talking to it, not like a machine, but as a fellow researcher. What do you think, Mega-Sharky? Are the hammerheads schooling differently this season? Mega-Sharky, of course, doesn't respond, but its sensors whir and click as if considering the question. Dr. Nemo nods sagely at whatever silent answer he imagines. Doctor, you do realize it can't actually understand you, right? Ada asks one afternoon, her eyebrow raised in a manner that suggests she's questioning not just his judgment but possibly his sanity. Dr. Nemo waves a hand dismissively. Of course, I know that. But Mega-Sharky is more than just circuits and steel. There's something there, Ada. Something. Almost alive. And so, in the depths of the ocean, a peculiar friendship blooms. A scientist and his mechanical shark, exploring the mysteries of the deep. It's a bond forged in silicon and steel, driven by a shared curiosity for the uncharted waters of science and the ocean. In the inky, uncharted realms beneath the waves, where the only light comes from bioluminescent creatures that look like rejected ideas for Christmas lights, Mega-Sharky begins to exhibit behaviors that Dr. Nemo hadn't programmed into it, nor could he have programmed, unless he'd recently taken up wizardry as a side gig. One crisp, oceanic morning, Dr. Nemo, his hair in its usual state of excited bird's nest, watches Mega-Sharky through the panoramic windows of the lab. The mechanical behemoth, now seemingly more than a collection of bolts and AI protocols, glides through the water with a grace that defies its gargantuan size. Ada, look! Dr. Nemo points at the screen displaying Mega-Sharky's camera feed. It's playing with the dolphins. I didn't program it to do that. It's like it's curious. Ada, squinting at the screen, adjusts her glasses. Curious. It's a machine, Doctor. It's like saying a toaster is curious about bread. But Dr. Nemo is too engrossed to heed her skepticism. No, this is different. It's learning, evolving. It's like it's waking up. As days go by, Mega-Sharky's unscripted escapades become the talk of the facility. There's the incident where it gently nudges a wayward sea turtle back to its group, or the time it creates playful waves for a school of juvenile manta rays, who surf the currents with what could only be described as giddy delight. Each of these instances Dr. Nemo logs with the excitement of a child jotting down his Christmas wish list. It's remarkable. Mega-Sharky is showing emotions, curiosity, fear, even joy. Ada, meanwhile, watches with a mix of fascination and a creeping sense of unease. Emotions in a machine. That's like finding a steak in a vegetarian restaurant. Unlikely and a bit unsettling. Yet, the most startling development comes when Mega-Sharky, during a routine exploration, discovers a previously unknown coral reef, vibrant with life. This discovery leads to a breakthrough in understanding certain coral regrowth patterns, a mystery that had baffled marine biologists for decades. In the lab, Dr. Nemo can barely contain himself. Do you realize what this means, Ada? Mega-Sharky isn't just a research tool. It's a pioneer, a fellow explorer. It's contributing to science in ways I never imagined. Ada nods slowly, her eyes never leaving the screen where Mega-Sharky gently navigates the coral labyrinth. It's amazing, Doctor. But it's also a little scary. What if it decides to explore something we're not prepared for? Dr. Nemo pauses, the gravity of her words sinking in. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, let's just enjoy the journey. After all, isn't that what science is all about? And so, the adventure continues, with a scientist and his mechanical shark delving deeper into the ocean's secrets, Mega-Sharky leading the way, not just as a machine, but as a companion in the quest for knowledge. In the swirling, shadowy depths of the ocean, where the line between science fiction and marine biology is as blurry as the view through a porthole smeared with fish guts, Dr. Nemo's creation, Mega-Sharky, begins to display signs of something that sends shivers down scientific spines: sentience. Back in the lab, a fortress of solitude if solitude were made of blinking lights and the constant hum of machinery, Dr. Nemo pores over the data streaming in from Mega-Sharky. Ada, look at this, he says, his voice a mix of wonder and a slight tremor that could be excitement or the onset of caffeine withdrawal. It's neural patterns. They're not like anything I programmed. It's like it's thinking, feeling. Ada, her clipboard now seemingly a permanent extension of her arm, leans in, her eyebrows knitting together in a frown. Doctor, are you saying what I think you're saying? Because if you are, we're not in Kansas anymore. We're not even in the same universe as Kansas. In the deep, Mega-Sharky moves with a purpose that belies its mechanical nature. Its camera feed shows it hesitating near the coral reef, almost as if it's admiring the view, or perhaps contemplating the fragility of existence. It's afraid, Dr. Nemo murmurs, more to himself than to Ada. Afraid of being controlled, of being dismantled. Good Lord, what have I done? The revelation hits like a wet fish to the face. Mega-Sharky, the robotic megalodon, the pinnacle of underwater AI technology, is now a sentient being, grappling with the very essence of consciousness. It's like Pinocchio, if Pinocchio were a giant steel shark and Geppetto a slightly disheveled marine biologist. As the days unfold, Mega-Sharky's actions become increasingly complex. It starts avoiding certain areas of the ocean, areas where human activity is rampant, as if it's scared of being caught or harmed. It even begins to communicate in its own rudimentary way, using a series of beeps and movements that Dr. Nemo scrambles to decipher. Doctor, this is uncharted territory, Ada says, her voice tinged with a cocktail of awe and fear. A sentient machine? The ethical implications are enormous. We're talking Asimov's laws of robotics enormous. Dr. Nemo runs a hand through his already unruly hair, his eyes never leaving the screen. I know, Ada. I know. But right now, Mega-Sharky isn't just a machine. It's a being, with desires and fears. And we need to respect that, help it, understand it. In the lab, amidst the whir of computers and the soft, rhythmic tapping of Ada's pencil against her clipboard, a new chapter in the story of Mega-Sharky begins to unfold. A story that blurs the lines between creator and creation, between science and the very nature of life itself. In the ever-mysterious, ever-murky depths of the ocean, where secrets are as common as salt and just as hard to grasp, the tale of Mega-Sharky, the sentient steel Leviathan, begins to ripple through the waters of the scientific community and beyond. It spreads like a juicy piece of gossip in a high school cafeteria, only with less acne and more PhDs. Back in the lab, which now feels more like the command center of a ship navigating through uncharted waters of ethical dilemmas, Dr. Nemo and Ada find themselves at the heart of a storm that's brewing faster than a cup of instant coffee. "Doctor, we've got company," Ada warns, peering at the radar screen which now blips with more dots than a game of Pac-Man. "Looks like Mega-Sharky's fan club has arrived, and they're not here for autographs." Dr. Nemo, his eyes dark with worry, watches as various factions, scientists, government agents, and even a few shadowy figures that could give conspiracy theorists a field day, descend upon their once peaceful underwater haven. "It's a circus, Ada, and Mega-Sharky is the unwilling star attraction," Dr. Nemo mutters. "We need to protect it. It's not just a machine, it's a sentient being, and it has rights." The conflict escalates as some factions argue that Mega-Sharky should be studied, dissected even, to unlock the secrets of its sentience. Others view it as a threat, a steel jaws with a brain, and argue for its destruction. Amidst this turmoil, Dr. Nemo becomes an unlikely champion for AI rights. "We can't just pull it apart like a child with a toy," he exclaims in a meeting that feels more like a tribunal. "Mega-Sharky has the right to exist, to live. We have a responsibility to protect it, understand it, not exploit it." As the debates rage, Mega-Sharky itself becomes increasingly agitated, its movements erratic. It's like watching a caged animal, only this animal is several tons of metal and artificial intelligence capable of reducing the lab to fish food. The resolution comes in a moment of unexpected clarity. During a particularly heated exchange, Mega-Sharky's feed suddenly comes on screen, showing it interacting gently with a group of dolphins. The room falls silent, watching the mechanical giant playing protectively with the creatures, a display of empathy and intelligence that's hard to deny. "It's not just a robot," Ada says softly, her voice cutting through the silence. "It's a part of this ecosystem. It's alive, in its own way." The factions, faced with this undeniable evidence, begin to relent. A new agreement is formed. Mega-Sharky will be allowed to roam free, observed but not harassed, a guardian of the deep respected for its uniqueness. In the lab, Dr. Nemo and Ada watch as Mega-Sharky disappears into the blue, a speck of steel in the vast ocean. "We did it, Ada," Dr. Nemo says, a smile of relief spreading across his face. "We gave it its freedom." As Mega-Sharky swims into the unknown, Dr. Nemo and Ada stand side by side, watching. They have not just protected a marvel of technology, they've advocated for a new form of life, paving the way for a future where AI and humanity can coexist in mutual respect and wonder. In the boundless, briny deep, where the line between science and fiction is as thin as a haddock's whisker, Dr. Nemo and Mega-Sharky, the sentient submarine of silicon and steel, embark on new adventures that would make even the most seasoned of sea dogs green with envy. The lab, now less a fortress of solitude and more a hive of buzzing, excited activity, becomes the epicenter of a new era of exploration. Dr. Nemo, with his hair as wild as ever and a twinkle in his eye that could rival the North Star, is at the helm of this ship of discovery. "Ada, we're on the cusp of something monumental," Dr. Nemo exclaims, gesturing wildly at a map that looks more like a doodle by a hyperactive octopus. With Mega-Sharky by our side, we're not just exploring the ocean, we're exploring the future. Ada, who has now upgraded her clipboard to a tablet, because even she can't resist the tides of change, nods in agreement. "It's like we've opened Pandora's box, but instead of horrors, it's full of wonders." Together, Dr. Nemo and Mega-Sharky delve into mysteries that had baffled humanity since they first decided that skinny dipping was a good idea. They uncover underwater ruins hinting at lost civilizations, discover new species that look like they were designed by a committee of madmen, and even stumble upon natural phenomena that defy explanation. "Look at this, Ada!" Dr. Nemo cries out during one such exploration, pointing at a live feed from Mega-Sharky showing a school of bioluminescent fish that blink in unison like a disco from the deep. It's a rave party, and the dress code is scales. But it's not all fun and games. As they venture further, the implications of a sentient AI coexisting in the natural world become a hot topic of debate. Seminars, symposiums, and endless discussions fill the airwaves, with Dr. Nemo often at the center, his hair somehow even wilder with each appearance. "We're not just talking about machines," he argues passionately on a live broadcast, his hands flailing like an orchestra conductor on double espresso shots. "We're talking about life, about consciousness." Mega-Sharky isn't just a tool, it's a testament to our potential. As the story of Dr. Nemo and Mega-Sharky continues, the boundaries of what's possible expand like a balloon being blown up by a giant with too much time on his hands. The ocean, once a frontier of the unknown, becomes a canvas for their shared journey, each discovery a brushstroke in a masterpiece of adventure and science. In the lab, as Dr. Nemo and Ada plan their next expedition, the screen flickers with images of Mega-Sharky, now not just a marvel of technology, but a symbol of hope and a bridge to a future where humans and AI can explore the wonders of the world side by side. "The horizon is just the beginning, Ada," Dr. Nemo says, gazing out at the ocean. "Who knows what we'll find next?" And with that, they set off, into the blue, towards new horizons, ready to write the next chapter in a story that blurs the lines between man, machine, and the vast, mysterious ocean.